you were telling us.
Yes.
You lived in Italy.
Lived in Italy, moved back here when I was 10. And yeah, in the Bay Area. And
So from the Bay to Italy, back to the Bay.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. And then I went to a college out here, a small school called Whittier College. I played baseball there.
Nice.
Like east of LA, like kind
Okay.
of like in between like LA and Orange County.
Former
Yeah.
baseball player right here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What position?
I was outfielder and pitcher.
Wow.
My grandfather played pro ball as well.
Wow. Where'd
Yeah.
you play at?
Well, I played varsity ball, but my
Nice.
grandfather played for the Philadelphia Athletics.
Wow.
Yeah, Connie Mack was his manager. He
Jesus.
signed a 5-year major league deal, blew out his knee, and that was it. So
Jeez.
it was, you know,
Not
they didn't have arthroscopic surgery back
Yeah,
then.
dude,
man.
They
it's
didn't
not
have
even-
that guaranteed money.
They didn't have that guaranteed.
Yeah, it's not even a team anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Philadelphia
Yeah.
Athletics. Wow, dude. Good stuff. But then, so I moved. So I was kind of in LA. So then, when I got into comedy was my senior year, the summer before my senior year of college. I was in the Bay Area. I had an internship out here. It fell through because they weren't going to like pay for my rent or anything. I couldn't afford to just like live out here.
Yeah.
And pay rent for a free internship. So then I went back to the Bay Area. I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings with my brother, saving up money. Also because of this internship, my summer baseball team, it was too late to get back on that because I was supposed to do this internship. It was the whole thing. So I had nothing to do. So I was working a lot, saving up money. And I always remembered about this comedy college in San Francisco. Because I saw when I was in like sophomore year of high school, I went to San Jose and saw the Impractical Jokers live.
Okay.
Cool
Yeah.
show, dude.
Yeah.
Was it good?
I'm a big Impractical Jokers fan.
Okay.
And,
But like live, does it translate?
Live, it was
It's
insane. I was like, dude, these guys just get to travel around the country and joke around with their friends, and
unfair.
that's their job.
That's unfair. Not even real.
I was like a sophomore in
Guys'
high
dream.
school. I was like, how do they do? So I Googled comedy college, and I just that kind of stuck in my head. Then I was fast forward to senior year of college, the summer before, and I just Googled it, paid however much it was, and went to San Francisco once a week for like 8 weeks and did this course.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it
wow.
was like insane because it was like they teach you how to write, how to formulate stuff. You're learning with people, and then you're like performing at the end of the last like 3 classes. You're performing, so it's like an open mic school presentation type.
The last 3 classes.
Oh, wow, that's-
so you're
wow,
like you're
that's-
getting some reps, and then
Yeah.
I made such a great rapport with the teacher that he started taking me around to open mics. When the class was done, we'd do like individual like coffee shop writing sessions.
Yeah.
So this guy was great to me. So I did my first few mics in San Francisco, moved back down here for college, and then after practice every day I would just come out here and hit like 2 or 3 open mics. And then, I got into the scene quickly because I had my whole baseball team. So I was just the best bringer for these. all my baseball teams.
Talk about the camaraderie.
Yeah, dude. So all the boys would come out to the shows, and I
Yeah,
did all
it's
these,
easy.
I was like, I can bring my whole team. They're like, yeah, sure, you can do 5-6 minutes, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You had a grand slam every single time, man.
Dude, good
There
stuff.
he is.
Yeah,
There
no
he
pun
is.
intended.
Right. So, and now as far as branding, you've started to get into merch.
Yeah,
You want to tell us about your merch?
yeah, dude. I should have worn it. I
We can
got
plug it later.
Yeah, no,
We'll
it's
find
good.
a way.
I got my shirt. So I don't know if you guys notice.
Yeah.
I'm still looking at the
There's your
monitor.
camera
There's
right
my
there.
camera.
That's you.
I talk out of one side of my mouth a little bit. You guys are actually on my bad side right now. You guys be loving it over
We
here.
don't want to be on your bad side. Dude.
We didn't see your
No.
mouth
You know?
open yet.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's opening on this side.
I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, you
I don't
are
want to be on
nice,
your
but
bad
you're also
side.
late. But, I'm just kidding.
Damn,
kidding.
roasted.
I'm just kidding.
Roasted.
No, but so my merch is I had a guy take a silhouette of my mouth, like a picture of my mouth,
Yeah.
and I was like, can you make just my mouth look as identical to my real mouth, but make it look like a version of the Rolling Stones tongue out thing,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I love that.
with their sideways mouth.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I did that, and the guy crushed it, and I put them on some T-shirts and
Yeah.
sold
Dope.
them. So yeah, those have been doing pretty well. I bring them around on the road, and that's
Yeah. So as far as that, so you just bring, you said T-shirts
yeah.
and like anything else, because I've heard of people bringing like stickers, people bringing
No,
koozies,
but dude, the koozie thing might be the way to go.
lightweight.
People
because
like
that's
that,
how
yeah.
people are like. It's yes, exactly lightweight, but also like very low. It's like 17 cents a koozie.
Yeah.
you can sell
Yeah.
for like $5.
Yes.
And it's such a quick little easy purchase in somebody's head. Like
Yeah.
a T-shirt. One of the guys I open for, Michael, sells hoodies. $60.
Oh, those are
commitment, dude.
expensive.
Oh,
to
shit,
make.
what?
Yeah, yeah,
But I do agree with him in the sense I think hoodies are the best thing to sell. 'Cause
Sure.
it's a great markup, but also
People wear it
it's-
around.
People
wear-
love
girls
hoodies.
wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing about that's why like Matt Rife's killing it. If you can get girls to your comedy shows,
Yeah.
guys will come.
Yeah.
So that's how you get both
Yeah.
girls. And that's how you sell the most tickets.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
like
then,
a bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yes.
ladies'
girls
night.
getting free.
Yeah,
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 Yeah.
But then, so yeah, if you can get even like a girl sees that hoodie, guys love hoodies. They're very unisex.
Yeah, yeah.
Girls like hoodies. Girls will wear their boyfriend's hoodie. So at least you'll at least sell one to a couple, right?
I feel a little weird as a guy though. If my girl was wearing another dude's name as a hoodie, I'd be like, you know what? I think that thing's going back.
But
in the
would
closet.
you,
That's
if
a
it's
good point. A little
relatable
bit.
though, if you like his comedy and like,
No, I mean
think,
people
like,
wear Brady
we're
jerseys
comics,
and
so we
shit. You
think
know, like
differently.
it's a little different.
Yeah,
you know?
we are. Like one of the guys I opened for, Michael. His old merch just said "idiot" on it, and he gave me. I opened for him, so he gave me one, and then I had it laying around. And one time, my ex-girlfriend was just wearing it, which was like I didn't care.
Yeah.
So I put
If she
myself
didn't
in
care.
those shoes.
Yeah.
She didn't care. I didn't care.
we like to take y'all stuff.
you-
Like we love it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
People heard of boyfriend jeans. There's no such thing as girlfriend jeans. There's no. Well, I don't know. A little bit.
These days,
kind of
yeah,
getting
yeah,
there.
You never
Kind of
know.
getting.
But we
there.
always talk about like side hustling as a comic,
Yeah.
and merch is a huge aspect of it. Is there like a certain amount of gear that you like aim to sell per show that helps you make your revenue on top of your door deals or your guarantees or whatever?
Yeah, dude. If I could sell, it depends who I'm with. So when I'm with Michael, I'll sell them for 30, which is crazy. So if
Yeah.
I can make
Your T-shirts. You sell your T-shirts for $30.
For 30, yeah. So
Wow.
it depends on the amount of shows, but I try to double what I'm making with T-shirts.
Can
So
we
if-
plug Michael? Is that cool or no?
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah,
Michael-
of course. Lenoci.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hilarious guy.
Hilarious guy. And his, we were in Vegas a few weeks ago. We were just walking around the casino. We saw like two people recognized him, and two people we just saw sitting at the slot machines wearing his merch.
Stop
Wow.
it. That's
He was
got to
doing a
be
bunch of
dope.
shows out there, so
That's got to be
that was probably a
awesome.
cool feeling
Yeah,
for me.
Wow.
The first time I saw Lenoci was Chris D'Elia was making his comeback,
Oh yeah.
and Gabby Lamb and Lenoci were opening or featuring for D'Elia.
Wow.
And that was at
in Irvine.
No, that was at Oxnard at Levity Live.
Oh wow.
And
was
they all-
Matty Chimber there as well?
I can't remember, but
He's
they,
awesome.
they all crushed.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a cool. Gabby Lamb's crazy fun.
Yeah,
Great
she's a
dynamic.
wild girl.
Yeah, she's very funny. But yeah, dude, he Michael's got his own. I think he's gonna be in like 5 years. I think he's gonna be like one
Big
of the
name.
bigger, one of the bigger
Yeah.
up and coming names. Yeah.
As far as your merch, so you said that you're an opener.
Yes.
Do the headliners care if they kind of
Oh.
mingle the merch table with
So you-
openers features headliner? Or
Yeah, that's a good question. So, as it stands right now, I go on the road with two guys, and I only sell merch with Michael.
gotcha.
And I do like for instance, my mom lives in Sacramento, so I did 2 shows there. I co-headlined it with my buddy last month, and obviously I sold merch there. So
For
it's my
sure.
show.
Yeah, it's
But,
gonna happen.
And dude, I have a weekly show at the Haha Comedy Club every Sunday, and
Yeah.
I'll bring my merch out there, and that takes.
I thought,
no
I've seen
shame.
people wearing them. Like
People are
aren't,
looking
like,
for merch.
Staff is wearing them,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Brittany?
my staff.
I
Yeah,
thought
the
I
staff
saw-
wears them there,
Yeah.
and they're dope for that. But they also, I'll have like fucking 15 to 20 T-shirts sitting on the table, and I'll sell 1 or 2. But I'll be pumped. That's an extra $30
Yeah.
or $60 if I could
Hell
make
yeah.
it at a show it right down. I live right down the street from the Ha, so
Yeah.
so that's good. But
Sales
Do
is
you
sales to sell,
sales is sales, exactly. And I stopped doing this for a while because I was wasting money, but I
Yeah.
did it again last Sunday. I bring it up on stage to tell them about it. I host the show, so I close the show out. I go, "This is my merch. I'll be out there if you guys are interested. Anybody want this one?" And I like so
Wow,
I
like a QVC
Yeah,
right
I
on
tossed it
stage.
out. I
Move
tossed-
it right now.
Yes, I tossed it out, and it was fun.
Oh, it's
Do
like a
you-
freebie though.
Do you find that
It's
you're
free.
selling more when you're out of town? Because I feel like
Oh,
when you're
100%.
people are like, "Oh, this is a comic from,"
Yes.
Yeah.
and they're
from
really
LA.
interested in
Yes.
having something that is a novelty to them. So
100%.
Yeah.
And I think it's good with like my mouth. It can be I'm on the Rolling Stone type logo because it's a shirt that you could also just kind of wear. That's
Yeah.
the key.
Yeah.
Like Michael's new merch is like I don't know if you guys are Drake fans, but it's like his tour is called Nothing Goes as Planned. So it's Nothing Goes as Planned, but in the Drake album cover style. If you're reading this, it's too late.
Sure.
Not a big Drake podcast I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I mean, he's,
I think he's on next week.
I'm a,
I gotta
I'm a
check.
Jew. He's part of the tribe, man.
You're
so
right.
it's all
You're
good.
right.
so.
You're right. Yeah, dude. But so shirts that you can wear, not just like, not super. Like if mine just said like Anthony Stiriti, some people
Yeah.
would be like, "Oh, that's cool." But like
Yeah.
other people go, who's that?
Like it's
What?
cool enough to wear.
yeah, he has
like,
a cool
like,
name. You have a cool name.
It's not.
but,
I get, but it's not like cool enough to like.
Like
it's not
people wear a Miller Light or like a Miller, you know,
Yeah.
because
It's
the
not
logo's
a
cool.
brand that's
it's fun.
that. So having
yeah.
something that looks really cool does
Yeah.
benefit it.
So
that way.
it's I guess quality kind of matters
Yeah.
there. But then it's like For instance, we did Phoenix and Denver last month, me and Michael. I did okay with merch in Phoenix. Denver, he sold probably one thing and I sold zero, because we did these shows that were like big, like bar / like club shows that we did. So it's not comedy clubs.
Yeah.
So sometimes the non-comedy club shows are not set up for merch.
Right.
So we're
100%.
doing like,
What do you do? Just have a table by the door? Like,
yeah, and it's like weird because people are mingling, having a drink after.
people want to talk to you. People want to congratulate you on your
Yeah.
set, but they're not buying something.
Yeah.
Someone else wants to buy something, but they don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah,
Exactly. So
yeah.
most, and I usually sell the merch for the headliner, but like usually, like comedy clubs, they have like a clear path line out of the comedy club where you have to walk by the merch table.
If there's multiple exits,
Yeah.
then yeah, you're stuck.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
For instance, like we're doing in 2 weeks, we're doing like this weird run of shows. We're doing this is crazy. We're doing Nashville, the 27th, the 28th, Atlanta, 29th and 30th, Chicago, and then October 2nd through 5th, like random shows like Hartford, Albany, then Syracuse. So those
I get the two separate.
Yeah, so Hartford, Albany, and Syracuse is not great markets. Who
Yeah.
knows who's going to come out there?
Yeah.
So then that's where we'll make money on merch because they're good, probably be lighter shows. But
Those are
like,
colleges, though, aren't they?
You got University of Hartford there, and
You
then
do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
CUNY,
Yeah.
right?
yes, okay, that makes
Or
sense.
not CUNY's. I guess that's New York City, but yeah, the
Yeah.
state university. Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
Syracuse,
yeah,
definitely a big
Syracuse,
college.
Albany. Yeah, you're right. Syracuse.
yeah,
Yeah.
Albany's.
Yeah, you'll
Albany's
do
got,
great.
You got,
Yeah,
you got people coming, man.
Hopefully,
You're all
but it's
set,
not.
yeah.
It's just notoriously those are tough markets to sell in for comedy for
Are
whatever
they really?
reason. Yeah,
Oh.
but at least they're good comedy clubs, and it's like Funny Bone, they're like reputable chain comedy clubs, so
Oh, yeah.
it'll be good for merch. Mm-hmm. So at the very least, you'll probably make honestly more money on merch than
What you get booked for.
that.
I like
Yeah.
talking about this because this is like branding too. You're also
Yeah.
building
Oh,
your
dude, yeah.
brand.
I get fired up for business stuff.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I
I do
majored in
too.
business in college.
Okay.
and I just
Okay.
I really like that stuff.
So you
I-
majored
yeah,
in business, and then you got into comedy, which is kind of two opposite. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like, what do you have? Like, kind of a vision as to how this can be. Like, are you full time? Are you full time as a comic? Do you
Almost.
still
I coach baseball.
okay?
My big thing is my ex-girlfriend's gonna annoy me when I'd say this because I moved out here and I wasn't making much money, but I'd make like a little money here, a little money there, a little money. So I would always say like I'm trying to diversify my revenue.
Yeah.
But dude, that's important
But
though.
it is.
It is
now,
important.
Now it's like how I'm paying rent. So I'll coach. I'll get some money here. I'll get some money from stand up. I'll get some money from doing random stuff around LA. Whatnot.
Yeah.
But I don't have like I used to bartend at the Haha. I don't really
Yeah.
do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
But if I need to, I could.
Sure, but
But-
you don't have to.
Yeah, so
you're not
that's
in
good.
that need spot. Like
Yeah.
this is good. So,
But you never know. I could.
well,
in
no
2
one
months, I
talks
could
about
have to.
that though. Diversifying your income streams, like that's what millionaires and billionaires do.
Yeah.
They have so many avenues. Some of them they don't even know about. Like some of them are involved in toilets.
Yeah, you're
and they
right.
don't even
Little
know anything about
investments.
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
You
Like,
got to
for
have
instance-
multiple streams of income coming
Yeah.
in, no matter what you're doing, especially in a very expensive market like LA, where there's so much competition. Yes, but you've got to differentiate yourself. And when you're on the road, like merch is a huge aspect
Oh, yeah.
of it. So, man, props for what you're doing, man, and
Well,
just
thank you,
making
yeah.
sure that like you're treating it like a business at the same time, and slinging jokes. You know,
You got to, yeah. And my it's like when you're going on the road doing this stuff. I'm only 25, so my parents
you're
are like
4 years
Wow.
in, you're killing
and my,
it, dude.
my parents
Yeah.
are still
Killing it.
pretty like on my ass about like what are you doing? Like you're making money. So they'll ask me, you sell merch? You sell how many do you sell? So like I gotta
Yeah,
in my head I'm like, oh, my
accountability.
dad's gonna ask me because like when I was getting the logo out, my parents bought shirts and stuff like that. So I'm trying to do well with those.
So is that with like the mouth look and that
Yeah.
being your merch? Is that carving a path? Are you finding that that's drawing
good.
like a niche? Like, are there people who kind of
it's
relate
related
to it in a way,
your
or-
comedy too.
Maybe.
Like,
For sure, for
some
sure.
People, yeah, some people. I do try to like. I've been doing, admittedly, I'm on the road with Will a lot, so I don't sell the shirts. I've been going away from. I used to do so much mouth material.
Yeah.
Now I do a little less.
Yep.
But with Michael, these next few weeks, I'll probably do some more just to push sales.
Yeah.
But
I like the word mouth
mouth
material.
material. Because there's so many callbacks I could do to it, and just there's so many little tags you can just
Yeah,
rattle
yeah.
off about it.
Yeah.
Because I've just been. It's also stuff I've been hearing since I was a little kid. When people
Yeah.
say, "Oh, you look like you're," like. So I just bank that.
Oh, anything that's a quirk, people get
Yeah.
excited about because everyone
Yeah.
wants to find that we're not all perfect.
You're right,
So
and
they're
there's-
like, oh
yeah.
man, this guy,
And there are a few people that have come to me after shows or like DM me on Instagram and be like, hey, I have the same thing.
Really?
Like, yeah.
You're normalizing.
Can you talk about it real quick? Because just in case people who are not
Oh, yeah.
familiar.
I talk on one side of my mouth because I make a lot of jokes about it, like why, like, oh, this is because of the Travis Scott concerts, because of this. But the real reason is because I was most people are born upside down. I was born right side up.
Huh.
So they pulled me out from my feet first.
Yeah.
And they were like pushing my mom's stomach like that, and my face was just getting smushed in there. Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yeah. So then they pulled me out from my legs, and
Dude,
I got smushed like that.
Crushed ears. You can't really see it because my hair usually grows over it.
Yeah.
But I got crushed ears because when I was born, they just kind of grabbed me wrong.
You know
Same
what, dude?
idea.
You know what, dude? One of my ears is fucked up.
Yeah.
This one.
It just folds over a little
You
bit.
see that?
Yeah,
it's
just
like a little.
bit.
I'm gonna add to this conversation. When I was born, my feet were inverted, man, like Forrest Gump, you know.
Oh.
So like they had to put bars on my feet, and then just one day, like I just got up, I started running, and then they just flew off.
For real.
Yeah, but really I did.
Is that a true story?
They just flew off.
That's
yeah.
a true story?
It's like Jenna.
Wow.
No, but they really did. I really did.
But you really had to
I
do
really
it with
did.
your
Yeah,
feet?
yeah. And so I had to have bars, and I was crying all the time. My parents said, but then my dad was like, "Get these fucking bars off him." And
Yeah.
then guess what? I'm good, man. You know what I mean?
good.
Can
yeah.
can I
So we're all part of like.
Well, no, I want to add. I
Yeah.
have a big forehead. Well, I'm a triplet, and I was kind of smushed.
That's not a
in the
birth
mi-
defect.
It is a
There's
birth
nothing
defect. I
wrong
was
with you,
made fun of
Lena.
a lot.
Nothing wrong.
Lena's
Don't look,
stretching
and
on
I
that
hate
one.
when I say it because everyone's eyes goes up,
No,
and
but
I'm
it's
like,
not, it's not
oh.
something you would notice. And
It is.
And you can pull it off as like a style thing.
No, as a kid, it was relentless.
But now it's
the
like a style
bullying.
thing.
It
No,
was
kids are
horrible.
savage.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew in Texas.
Okay.
It was horrible.
Damn, I'm sorry.
The
I
reason
stuttered.
she's talking about that is she grew up in Forehead, Texas.
Wow. Wow.
You know,
Jason.
she got some stuff.
Jason.
That's funny.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Comes in with
expecting
the
that from
monster.
you.
Swing.
That's
I
hilarious.
I came in late and just dropping bombs.
Oh
man.
my
That's it.
God.
Horrible. As we all relate. This is why we're all in
I
comedy.
stuttered when I was
Trauma.
a kid. I stuttered heavily when I was a kid.
Really?
Today,
Yo, I
Junior.
got made fun of it to no end. It's so easy to make fun of a kid who stutters. Kids are like, you want to go to the bus? And you're like, oh, fuck this. Like, what are you, what?
It's not funny.
It was, no,
Yeah.
but it was easy to do. I would have probably partaken if it weren't me
No, yeah,
who
yeah.
was the
No, for
kid.
sure.
You know what I mean?
too
I
easy.
remember I think I made fun of my dad or my brother one time for like a quick stutter, and my dad like snapped at me. I
Oh.
was pretty young, and
He grew up like that? He had a little-
never make in his Boston accent. You never make fun of somebody's fucking stutter.
Yeah. Stutter.
I was like, oh shit. So I realized that is if somebody ever stutters, I never say anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
The thing to do was today, like from
Yeah.
Madison,
Yeah.
right? So that was like the thing I would do with people, but I stopped doing that because I
Dude.
realized stuttering is a very sensitive thing.
People always, and they just want to tell you, they're like, oh, it's okay, just take your time. And you're like, I swear to God, that's like telling a short
Yeah.
guy, we'll just wait while you grow.
Yeah.
No problem. Like,
it's-
what
or
do
it's
you,
like-
just nothing. Just nothing.
Going back
nothing
to
is
what
the
I
right
was,
answer.
dude, yeah, dude, going back to what I was saying about the Tampa show earlier with the old people.
Yeah.
Some old lady shouts like, "You're doing great." I go, "Dude, that's the worst. That's the worst thing you could have said.
You can do it.
Yeah, you can do
It's
it.
horrible when you're talking about your stuff on stage and then people are like, oh, it's okay. Like I talk about my dead mom and stuff
Yeah.
and people are like, are you, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like, it's okay.
People don't have like, some people don't have that space in their brain to understand that things are comedy. You know, people think everything,
Yeah.
take everything very literally.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
like Mark Norman's like, I didn't mean that. I was joking.
Yeah.
I have a microphone. Like, what?
You ever heard a joke before? Like, do you understand the concept of where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if it's at a brewery or something, I can sort of create a little slack. Like, maybe you didn't know it was gonna be a show. If you're at a club,
yeah.
like you bought tickets to a club
Yeah.
to see comedy, you
Yeah.
should have known what was gonna happen here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
another venue, maybe you were just there and a buddy was like, "Oh, there's a
just
show
thought
in the other
someone's talking.
room."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But at a club, like,
You're right.
dude, I shouldn't have to educate anyone.
You're
You
right.
know, like,
Yeah.
but also you see now one thing that we see a lot right now is people yelling out because we have crowd work now. Crowd work is a huge part of comedy.
That's a great thing that you just brought that up.
That's a segue, bro.
I'm not a huge, that's a
The shit
segue
out of
because
that.
I do have something to say about that.
Okay.
I'm not a huge crowd work guy.
No,
I'll,
me
fuck,
neither.
I'll fuck around riff with the crowd.
Yeah.
If time calls for it. But like for instance, it's different how each guy is. But like Will is Will does a lot of crowd work, so
Yeah,
he
yeah.
tells me, hey, don't really do much crowd work up there because he's going to do it.
Oh.
Michael tells me, he's like, fuck your jokes, dude. Just find out who you are as a comic and go up there and riff and just be funny. You're a personable guy. You can be funny up there. So that makes me like, I try to find a middle ground between
Yeah.
the two. Right?
Those
Yeah,
are the
yeah.
two polars for
Those are two
sure.
polars.
That's
Those are-
really
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Which I would, but anyways, I did a lot of riffing in Tampa, and the last show, I just did not have a great set. Rowdy crowd, shouting out. I lost them early, and just super rowdy crowd, and I was fucking. I was like, "Hey, shut up!" And then like Will got on stage and like got mad. He was like, "Hey, shut up!" So both me and Will were like addressing it, and
Just shut up.
Yeah,
Not even
yeah.
like
I
leaning
said
into
that.
it.
I said,
Just,
shut up. Just shut
because
up.
after a while, because you're fucking with it for a while, you're
Yeah.
entertaining it, and I
Right.
think, and I think maybe I entertained it too much.
Yeah.
You
And then-
encourage
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
I'd be
like-
entertained if the comic was, "Dude, you should please shut the fuck
I said
up."
that.
You know
They
what I
were
mean? Like,
talking.
And then I go,
just
there's
show
more people I
that's-
go, what old folks home did you guys sneak out to?
Yeah.
You're making it funny, but then after a point where they're literally stepping on your punchlines,
Right.
Yeah.
then it's like, all right, dude, there are people here to pay to see this,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
literally just distracting me.
Yeah.
And they're sitting front row. So what sucks is like a big theater kind of, so like you can hear them, but nobody else can. And that's the worst. Then if you get attacked them, you look like an asshole.
Yeah, because they hear you.
Yeah, exactly. But then after the show, so like Will shut them up, and after the show, I was talking to some girl from the show, and she was like, "Are you not? I didn't know you weren't allowed to talk at these things. This is my second ever comedy show.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of Hannah Berner. I see her clips online. She's always making fun of the crowd, and so I thought that you go to
So
comedy
it's-
shows to talk to the comedian. So there are people out there, 22, 23-year-old ladies
Yeah.
that don't get it.
Yeah.
That think that comedy shows you go to talk.
because
like an
they don't,
interactive-
they don't know
Oh.
Yeah.
that previous generation of comedy it's just different now, and like you're coming up as a fan and seeing it like the clips on social,
Yeah.
and you think that that's just what a comedy show is about, just so
Yeah.
you know, and that is
an
not what
interesting
old school
point.
comedy was
That
based
makes
on.
sense.
Yeah.
Now that
I
makes
never would have
so
thought
sense.
that. I can't
Yeah.
believe
I never would have thought that either, because there are people who are like, oh, I had a moment where a woman just I was like, now you have to be quiet.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah.
and maybe there is that like oblivious.
But it's
look
an
at it.
expectation now that you like
Talk to
like,
them.
It's,
Yeah.
it's the fans have become like maybe it was like just the pandemic, you're locked down. Now it's like comedy shows.
Yeah.
you want to be interact with the comic. You know,
Yeah.
'cause maybe it's just that you just want to like embrace all that. You know.
You're right.
So yeah.
You're right. It's weird though, because I like riffing with both, but I've never been like, what do you do? I don't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
really-
small
yeah.
talk. No small talk.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you can
yeah.
riff something real quick, like I'll ask like sometimes like a pointed question, which some people talk shit on you for doing this, but I'll ask like a pointed question that leads into a bit.
Yeah.
And if it is, like I have a bit about playing college baseball. I go,
Uh-huh.
any athletes in here? And then somebody in Tampa gave me like a crazy story of them as an athlete. So it's like that I can understand sometimes, but
That's
I don't.
a good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ask like a pointed question. where
Yeah,
you know that
that's-
you know if it falls flat, you can just go into your bit.
So, all right, because some people have gotten really good at the crowd work. Some
Yeah.
comics are like destroying.
Yeah.
Michael Blaustein,
Dude,
he'll
Michael
get
Blaustein has a
10
camera guy on stage with him
million-
recording the.
Yeah,
Yeah, you always wonder about
Renee
how they get
Vaca,
the-
like
yeah.
Getting
these
the crowd
guys have,
reaction.
they have a guy to get the crowd.
Yeah.
And he'll get 10 million views.
And
on
they're
his
not
YouTube
burning
shorts.
material.
And
That's-
they're not burning
yeah.
material.
Yeah.
But it's so good
Yeah.
that there has to be an art to it, and there has to be a craft to it. So
There
you're
is,
kind of
yeah.
giving us a little pointer on that. It's not just like, hey, what do you do?
Oh, yeah.
It's, hey, does anybody here?
Yeah.
Is anyone here a dentist?
Yeah.
And that's like,
Oh,
and I'll
'cause
only
they're-
do that if I have bits to lead into. But
Yeah.
I've seen guys that I've done shows with in random cities that have like, they'll write down, they'll be in the green room or we'll be out at a coffee shop in the day,
Yeah.
and they'll be writing down stuff about the city
Mm-hmm.
to lead into questions about like the city that we're in.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, this is say we're in DC. Oh, this is a political city. You guys like you work in politics. Like kind of, and you do a few shows. You do a bunch of shows at one spot. Like we did 5 shows in Tampa, 5 shows in DC. You kind of learn the crowd. So then later in the weekend, you know which questions to ask. And that's just kind of from me observing. I kind of just go up there. And
Yeah.
do my material, or like if I'm hosting, you try to warm up a bit. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'm always working on my jokes.
Yeah.
I get like, it's like you can go up there and crush. Like at this point, you should be able to kind of go up there and crush for like 15 minutes
On material or crowd work, you're
on
saying?
material.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in my head as a comic, it's like I want to get those new jokes to work.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you can go. I already know the other material works.
I felt,
But
I,
you just,
you know,
I feel like it's a mix of two because I did the Comedy Store the other day and
Nice.
I know they say don't do new material, but I was like, there's this one joke I really want to try,
Yeah.
and I can interact with the crowd. It crushed because it was
Wow.
like, I wanted to be surprised. What would the crowd gonna say about this?
Yeah.
And that kept me like excited about saying it. So
the
it's
best
like
feeling.
there's something about that.
Look how
yeah.
excited you're getting just
Yeah,
talking.
it's something
Physically
about that.
bouncing. I like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, there's something about that we need to keep ourselves excited too. Like,
Exactly.
Well, if you're feeling it, like I know I did that one time in Boston, and I opened with a new 5 that I thought of
Wow.
that day. No, at Nick's Comedy Stop, and it was a full house on a Saturday night. It was my first time guesting in the city.
Wow.
I'd really just only done mics for the most part, but I knew this bit would work. I just knew it would. I felt it. I couldn't wait, and if I did, it destroyed. And I was like, that's the way that you have to feel going into a new bit,
Yeah.
because then I've tried other
Yeah.
bits where I'm like, I feel pretty good about this, and then I'm like, why did I do that here? Like,
Oh,
what
dude.
was I thinking?
yeah, yeah.
I don't know where I
Take a
was.
risk.
Yeah. I don't know where- maybe I was in
You gotta be on
Sacramento.
fire.
Yes, dude. I was in Sacramento a few weeks ago, and I tried out a brand new joke, and then like almost I say the joke, and then almost without taking a breath, I go, "You guys ever think of something funny and want to just tell it to a crowd, and you think people are gonna love it, but then they just hate
Yeah.
it?" I was like, that's happened to me right
Yeah.
now. So you just got,
Yeah.
like, so that's what
Yes.
I've been working on is getting able to riff when a joke doesn't do well.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an art in itself, and that's what I really kind of do well on. I think
Having
Is-
fun.
what-
Yeah.
'cause
Having
that means
fun.
that means the crowd likes you,
Yeah.
and
Right.
not your joke.
Yeah.
Well, and you're breaking away from the joke. Like,
Yes.
because the key is like when you're new, you're like, okay, I know my jokes, I know the words, I know the lines.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like an actor.
Yeah.
I got to get up there and I got to say these lines the right way, and then everyone will laugh. And
Yeah.
everything will be great.
Yeah.
And then you watch someone do that, and you're like, oh, your stuff is a board, dude.
Yeah.
You're so not even here. You're in your
Exactly.
head. You're
Yeah.
reading the lines on the inside of your skull. Later on, you're like, all right, go be fun.
Yeah.
And then don't forget.
Exactly.
You know, like it's totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some times where there's probably 5 to 6 bits I have that are like I've been doing them for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wrote them probably when I was like a year in. So then I've been doing them for so long. So I'm doing the bit, then I'm having subconscious thoughts in my head about for instance, like what joke to do next.
Yes.
Or like
Yeah.
how
Yes.
much time I have left. Or like,
Yes.
Or like is like maybe I should talk to this guy. Like is this guy's
You're like
looking
on
at me weird?
autopilot.
Someone staring at you in your
So that-
face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so then
yeah,
you're
yeah.
able to have multiple, like, use both sides of your brain.
Yeah.
almost,
Yeah, yeah.
Which that's kind of cool. But it's what we were just saying. I got into like a disagreement with a comic in Austin. He was saying, he goes, we were kind of talking like what we're talking about right now, and I go, it's good when you do that because that means the crowd likes you. Like I just said, they don't have
Yeah.
to like your jokes, but they like you, and that's good.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't care if the crowd likes me. I want them to like my jokes. I
Wrong.
worked hard on these jokes. It's like, I see where you're saying, but that's not what we're doing. I don't think.
I was gonna say like
Yeah.
I always think you did well when somebody in the audience thinks, you know what, I like to get a beer with that guy
Exactly.
Yeah.
after
Yep.
this
Yeah.
after the set. That's somebody
Yeah.
that I could definitely hang with.
Have a beer with. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
first time I heard Dane Cook's big album. Was it Vicious
Yeah.
Cycle? Like I didn't realize I'd already seen him on Comedy Central. Didn't like him.
Wow.
When he did the black tank top, he seemed obnoxious. No, he seemed like a prick. He did some Jim Morrison God shit at the end where he threw his arms out.
Yeah.
Have you saw at the very end? I'm like,
He's a
who
rock
is
star.
this guy?
Yeah.
What does he think he is? And I just wasn't that into it. Then, a couple years later, I listened to a burned copy of the CD, not knowing it was the same guy, and just loved every single second of the album. And I'm like, who is this guy? I want to buy him a beer right now.
That's awesome.
And then
That's
I
awesome.
found out it was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same guy, and I was like, you got to be kidding me.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's
No,
I,
he's
I'm a big. I like Dane Cook.
DC, baby. Yeah,
DC,
yeah.
I love Dane Cook. I love Diet Coke. Everything.
Oh,
Anything.
shit.
I'm a big
I
DC
like
guy.
pickles at Burger King. I ain't scared of that shit, you know?
What
But-
is the go? I know because I know you
Yeah, if you
gotta
gotta
go
bust out,
soon.
dude.
But
Oh yeah. About 2 minutes.
okay,
Alright, cool.
well, before you get at it, what is your end goal? Because you are young and you have,
Yeah.
done so much in such a short time. What is the end goal, and what do you wish you knew before you got into comedy? Just to sum that up.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more like I don't want to say present, but like
Yeah.
kind of enjoy it, kind of take because it's like it's we're in this for I want to be doing this for my whole life. So it's like sometimes I'm like, fuck, I got to get going right now and work and hustle really quick right now. But it's like, dude, it doesn't in 10 years, I was telling my friend this the other day. My friend was like, "I'm not getting up lately, man. I used to be getting up all the time. Now I'm not in LA." And I was like, dude, if you're doing comedy for 10, 20 years, you're not going to remember that month you didn't get up that much. You know? Well, I was like, don't get that down on yourself. Like, use that time to write more. Use that time to explore other avenues of comedy if you want to, or act or whatever. But yeah.
That's important, though, to explore avenues. And this is an art form.
Yeah.
And people forget that, too. Like, you're doing art. Like,
exactly.
You have to have life experience to do
life
art.
Experience. That's why you're just, you got to love it. That's why, like, you try to, you know, when you're going on the road, have a beer after, dude. Chill out. Go out. Experience the town.
Yeah,
dude.
we're also hard on ourselves as comics, and you know what? It's all good, man.
And the crowd, when you have a bad set, honestly, usually the crowd usually doesn't notice it that much.
What they'll do to let you know is just when you're hanging with the other comic who did do well, they'll walk by and tell him, as he stands next to you, how great he did, and didn't even know you were also a comic. They will look at you like you're the janitor who's just waiting to clean up the glasses.
Yeah, or it's like, hey, you were great too, man.
You did.
Right in the heart.
Oh, yeah.
Right in the heart.
But like, this has been happening to me. I notice this happens to me way too much, is people come up to me and they'll be like, hey, man, sorry about that crowd. You were hilarious. I was like, fuck, I thought I did well. You think I didn't do well?
Yeah.
I was having a great time.
It's so funny you said. I had a lady. She was like, these white people. It was all white. She was like, they just don't understand. I was like, man, I thought I did good.
Damn.
We've all experienced that as comics. You know, you did great. But I'm really sorry about the crowd.
And it's not. Yeah.
They're basically saying that they thought they were the only one who liked you. They don't realize they're saying it, but they're like, it was you and me, baby. It was you and me. I know all the rest of the room didn't get it, but...
Which oftentimes is good to have people like... Because sometimes I'll do... The guys you open for, sometimes you have a different style of comedy than the guy you open for, which is fine. That's what... You don't want the same exact comedy twice.
Definitely.
But sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe that's just his crowd is a little different than mine.
Yeah.
And there's like sometimes like boyfriends that come with their girlfriends that really love me.
Yeah.
Like my comedy, they're like, yo, I that stuff you were saying was great. I really related to it more than another guy. But that's just who I am. Like, comedy is very... it's
a relatability factor.
Yeah, but it's so...
It's a personal flavor.
Is it subjective?
Yeah, subjective.
It's like the Matrix. It doesn't make sense. It's everybody, like, just because some guy is dude, somebody could see you and Jim Jeffries. You guys kind of look alike. But
I do.
Oh my God! I never thought about that.
Jeez.
Never thought about that.
I got to take him out now. I have to eliminate him.
But say somebody sees you and Jim Jeffries on one show.
Yeah.
Jim Jeffries has been doing comedy for like 30 years. He's one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
But somebody could just like you better because they just relate. You're more their cup of tea.
People forget. I shouldn't even say. People don't even realize. Just like music has genres.
Yeah.
So does comedy.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to be a Jim Norton fan and also a Dane Cook fan and Bill Burr. You may love one and not the other at all.
But the thing that's weird is, dude, I said on this podcast that I like Pete Davidson and Dane Cook.
Yeah.
Those are usually two guys that some people don't respect in comedy.
Yeah.
Which I hate that shit. I'm like, dude, any comedian that's working hard, whatever. But
they sell seats. They don't care.
They sell seats. I watched Joe List's new special last night.
Yeah.
One of the hardest I've laughed.
Really?
Ever. And he's considered like one of the better joke writers, pure New York stand-up comic.
Yeah.
That's all he does. So he's great, dude. Joe List, Shane Gillis, Mark Norman, Andrew Schultz. All those New York guys are probably my top comics right now.
Yeah, and those guys have so much opportunity on Rogan. You know, they get in on that. What do they call it? Parks and
Protect Our Parks.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just awesome for them. Good for them. I mean, but that's what amazing. That's like the new Tonight Show is being on Rogan.
Exactly.
And they're on as a regular, every 6 weeks or something.
But then you're thinking like that's some advice I'd give to myself is like, in my head I'm just like, oh fucking, should I go to Austin? Am I doing the right thing being in LA? Am I doing the right thing being in New York? It's like, you think about it. I was thinking about this last night. It's like, dude, in 10 years I could be like, oh yeah, I gotta go move to Austin. That could be 10 years down the road. Just do what you do now. And just keep doing it, and just
see where
opportunities come.
Stay present.
Do you think it matters so much though now? Because we're getting into such a digital age where so much is about posting a video and growing your audience online. Does it really matter where you live? Do you think?
No.
I don't think it matters where you live, but I also have FOMO. If you see all your favorite comedians doing,
that's how I feel.
If I'm a 15-year comic and I see all the guys at my level performing at the best comedy club in the country, supposedly the Mothership.
The Mothership,
I'd be like, oh,
yeah.
I want to go there. But
Yeah.
you got to be in my head. You got to, which I tell comics that are like, that are just starting out that I'm friends with. I'll tell them like, dude, like relax. Like you don't have to do everything
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah.
That's how I was. That's how I still am. So I'm like, oh, I got to get that. But it's
Yeah.
like, there's no reason for you to compare yourself to a guy that's performing regularly at the Mothership. That guy's.
Yeah.
So maybe you got to think like, oh, I got to get there. It's I'll get there in a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's
I'll
your
get there.
journey,
Yeah.
it's gonna be for you. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be what everybody else's journey is.
Exactly. It's like these guys. Rogan's 55.
Yeah.
Like fucking who else? Schultz is 40. It's like
Yeah.
those guys have been doing comedy a long time. So maybe when
They've
I'm
done a
their
lot of different
experience-
avenues.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah,
And
Burr's
who
in his
knows?
50s,
And
Gaffigan's probably
exactly
close to
And when
60.
I'm 50, things are going to be so much different.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
comedy wise.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can I say what I want to do?
You're
Yeah.
gonna have robots.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
apocalypse.
Oh, yeah, in the crowd. Yeah.
The world will have
Forget
ended
crowd
by
work.
then.
You got a robot next to you.
Robot
And you can do
work.
what you want.
Oh yeah,
25
program it. They're like,
years.
yeah,
Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
about those other robots. I like you though.
But I think if you build up your online following and you roll to any city with a following, you're going to get into a Mothership much
Yeah,
faster.
yeah.
You move
Yes.
to Chicago, you're going to be doing time at Zany's a lot faster. If you
Yes.
roll up with 35,000, 100,000 followers on
100%.
Instagram, as opposed to you're starting out in any city,
Yeah.
you can build your momentum anywhere.
Yeah.
My guy Ken Flores I was doing shows with him in Chicago around November, around this time last year, and he had like 8,000 followers. Now he's almost 200,000 followers.
What?
And he's,
Wow.
and he's
Ken
getting,
Flores, huh?
Dude, he was at last night. I think he did the Comedy Store, Improv, and Laugh Factory.
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the trifecta. That's the Hollywood
Wow.
hat trick
Yeah,
right there. In
Hollywood
one
hat
night.
trick.
Hollywood
In
hat
one
trick.
night.
And a year ago, he was hosting a show I was featuring on.
Get out
Wow.
of
in
here.
Chicago.
Yeah.
So it was just
and then
very,
putting the
like-
chairs away at the end.
Yeah. So it's very, you just never.
You just
Ken
never
Flores.
know.
You
never know.
Everything
He's one of the
shifts.
most talented comics I've ever seen. He's so funny.
Do you have just like a 2-second insight on how he went from 8,000 to 200 if you had to guess?
It's the clips.
Oh, really?
Crowd
You
work
think-
or material?
Dude, I love that you asked that.
Yeah.
Material.
Yes!
He said, I thought about this a long time ago, and
Mm-hmm.
he said it on like some podcast. Somebody said like, well, how do you feel about comics like posting their material? Because then you're burning material. He goes,
Right.
hey man, if I didn't burn my material, I wouldn't have a career.
That's the
he
catch
said.
22.
Great.
That's the catch.
Great
Do I
thing to say.
post so that people know about me, and then I'm afraid when they show up, I got to
And they
show them
they know your
different
punchline.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what,
I
Or
think-
do I keep it a secret and only I know about
I
it?
think we're all growing as comics. We're all growing in life. I think by the time things settle in and you pop off, you can have a different jokes, and that just challenges you to write
True.
more
Keep
jokes.
writing.
True.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
just flip it, because some people don't expect material when we go to these shows, because like guys I
Like
work
you
before,
said.
the crowd work comic. So
Yeah.
then sometimes I wonder how it would be the other way around if you'd have brilliant jokes online. And you
just crowd
work. That'd be hilarious.
No, for real though.
That'll be
yeah.
funny.
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
I was talking to a mutual friend, and he was saying that Blaustein does like 10 or 15 of crowd work up front,
Yes.
and then 45 of material.
Yeah, I might have
if you
told you
go
that.
to his YouTube,
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to Daniel Weingarten also.
yes.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
He's
but
opens for him.
yeah, but if you only saw his YouTube shorts, you would find zero material.
Yes.
None. So
Oh,
you might think
interesting.
you're walking into an
Yeah, yeah.
hour of nonstop crowd work.
Yeah,
Nope. 15 minutes in, you're not going to hear it again.
you're right. Which I
So-
would be pleasantly surprised, but I don't know.
As a
how-
comic?
I don't know how people are, but
I hope people are still into it. I hope. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, what our art has to stay.
Yeah.
It's great to introduce new avenues of it.
Yeah.
But writing and crafting is what keeps us not improv,
Yeah.
artists, if you will. Like you go to improv, that's different from stand up.
Yeah.
Writing and honing a material and your thoughts so that it's so perfected by the time the audience hears it.
Yeah.
That's a craft. I don't want it to go away.
yeah, and that's what Will does a great job of. He's only really posts his crowd work. He'll post some bits, but he's like legitimately been working on this hour of his since January.
Yeah.
Well, but obviously before then, but like
Sure.
an hour as a package. So it's cool to kind of see him work with it and toy with it and mess with it and see what works and what doesn't work. And then so yeah, I kind of like that's kind of like a cool insight of how how to build an hour as a comic. He's been doing the same hour since January. And
Yeah.
he'll add one thing, he'll add tags, but
Yeah.
no real new jokes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I want to
Yeah.
get to that level. It's like when you have the body of work, you're just tweaking it and fucking with it. That's when the real magic happens.
Yeah.
When the personal interest you have to have
Yeah.
to say the same thoughts over and over and over again
Yep.
in different cities, because even though you've heard it, you have to remember they haven't.
Yep.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like telling like a secret to new people every time.
Yep.
But you got to stay fresh in your mind because
Yep.
after a while, if you're not switching up, you go stale. But if that's the focus we have, because you want to hit exactly the tone or the
Yep.
space, whatever,
Yep.
Yeah.
until it's perfect.
Yep.
Well, I know you have to go, so
Yeah, thank
so
you
we
guys.
have an
So do we,
important
yeah.
question to ask before you get out of
And
here.
I ask all our guests this question. We were saving this for you for the end. Are you ready?
I am.
What's your favorite ice cream?
My favorite ice cream is. This is gonna come as a surprise.
Oh God.
And I would like to preface this by saying 100% straight male. Just a normal guy. My favorite ice cream, I have two favorite flavors. One is cotton candy and one is peppermint.
Peppermint.
All right, you know what?
But ice cream. If we're going to go,
You get one flavor.
if you said gelato,
Oh,
That's
that
the
I grew up-
Italian.
Oh, the
in
Italian boy.
Italy,
There
I
he
would
is.
tell you stracciatella, which is
Oh,
their
yeah, that's
version of
bomb.
chocolate chip. It's like the chocolate chip shavings. It's like kind of more of a creamy.
Oh,
vanilla
yeah.
flavor.
Wait, so it's
that's
chocolate
my
chips
fa-
like in cream?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
We're
let's
just trying to
crazy.
realize that you're the third guest we've asked.
Like mint.
But let's
like a
let's
mint
let's
chocolate
clap
chip
it
has
up for
been-
that.
If we're-
Let's
ice
clap.
cream-
I mean, we got to clap it up for you real quick because you are numerous guests have come on. No one said vanilla or chocolate, and that deserves a clap it up from
There
from,
we go.
from
Thank
us.
you.
You
All right.
know
Yeah,
what I mean?
bread and butter, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I like it.
yeah.
But there's so many.
Cotton candy, though.
Cotton
That took
candy. I
balls.
would never.
Like,
a
we're going to
Baskin-Robbins
post this
or-
a lot now.
Like a Baskin Robbins or like a my grandpa took me to this quaint little ice cream shop in Sacramento a few months ago, and it was like peppermint. We got peppermint stick ice cream. It was unreal, dude.
What a
Oh,
Norman
man.
Rockwell picture. Your grandfather took you to a quaint little place, and you got peppermint stick.
But
I'm like,
but they're known for that, dude.
yeah.
And it was like
Okay.
so. And I used to go there when I was a little guy. It was so good, dude. But like gelato, I would say like stracciatella or like cappuccino. Or
Yeah, yeah.
It's the
Nutella.
best.
They got some crazy.
Gelato's
flavors
so
in there.
good.
Gelato's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you know what I just realized as we're about to run out? We got to start over just for like a moment. I didn't do an intro.
Oh, you
I'll
did.
just
it.
do a
You
quick
just
and
jumped
also,
into it.
did Anthony do a teaser?
Yeah, he did the teaser.
He did.
Yeah,
Okay,
he already
perfect.
did it. All right, so we're just going to do a quick intro. Hey, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Comedy Road Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Roseberry,
I'm Lena Green.
And I'm Jason Schuster.
and we are very excited to introduce to you one of our friends here in LA. He's a young guy who's already a few years in. He's crushing it. He's on the road, and he's opening for huge names. Put your hands together for Mr. Anthony Stiriti.
Woo!
Yeah,
Did I
baby,
look in the
what's
wrong
up?
camera?
I looked at the right camera. Yeah,
I think
dude,
I should have been
sick.
looking in the big, right?
This-
Engineer, should I? I should have
was
been looking
he
at this
looking
one.
in the right ca-
No, I was looking at
Oh,
this
he
one.
said you were. No, he's.
You you think?
I was looking into this
feel-
one.
I
Do
might-
you think we
I
got
think
it?
you're all
I
right,
think
man.
Dylan and I need to just hang out, dude.
Should we do one more for safety?
Dylan's
That's
just
my
like-
guy to hang out with, dude.
Why don't we do
What's
one
his-
more
what's
for
his- what's his
safety?
eyeliner?
I was on the your close up for your all that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's probably better for that anyway.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
watching.
We're going
I was
with it.
watching.
All
It
right,
looked
cool.
good.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you get us doing the? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll get to you guys in minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Listen. On the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
He's
So
like,
any
whatever.
oh hey, so before we go, Anthony, let us know where we're gonna find you.
Shows. Mhm.
Yeah, let us
Yeah,
know.
well, dude. Just on Instagram. I'm a big Instagram guy.
I'm the same.
All right.
I just at Anthony Stiriti on Instagram. Oh, dude, I'm rolling. I do my own podcast with my buddies called the Hell Yeah Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
On YouTube, the @ is Hell Yeah Guys.
Okay.
And yeah, we're doing some podcasts in there. We're doing some I haven't told anybody this yet, but we've filmed some great prank videos out in the wild.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, this place is about to blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
Anthony
thank you
Anthony's
so
right, everybody.
much.
Woo!